Hi, my name is Ari. I'm a college senior and I'm taking a class called Communicating About Sex. And this class just really makes me think back on my early sex ed classes and all the things I really wish I would have known at a much younger age. And I can imagine that as a middle school or a high school teacher, it can probably feel really challenging and even uncomfortable to approach these topics. But it's really important to remember that a teacher's lessons might really be a teenager's only introduction to sexual health, which is why I compiled 3 things that I wish I would have learned during sex education. Starting out, more about my menstrual cycle. I learned basic information like bleeding once a month, but not really anything else. I wish I'd learned more about the different phases of my cycle and how hormonal changes affect my mood, energy, and my body. Knowing this would have really helped me understand myself much better as a teen. Okay, second, birth control. In my class, we briefly covered some birth control options, but I really wish we talked honestly about side effects and that what works for one person just doesn't work for others. Also, nobody told me that many emergency contraception pills have a weight limit.
Huh?
Like, for example, if you take any of these brands and weigh more than 165 pounds, it just won't work as well. There are other options like Ella, which has a different active ingredient and a higher weight limit. But even then, if you weigh 195 pounds or more, Ella just won't work as well. Last but not least, healthy relationships. They are a huge part of life, but we really never talked about what they should look like romantically or even in friendships. So I really wish I'd learned early on how to communicate openly and ask for what I need on top of setting boundaries. Sex ed doesn't have to be scary and should just be a conversation. If you want to make your lessons more of a discussion, try inviting your students to submit anonymous questions into a box before your lessons. Because while it's important to cover things like bodily autonomy and contraception, it should also include all the other aspects, including healthy relationships, communication, and pleasure, in order to really be comprehensive.